What's going on, everybody? This is MediaMix, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the new Mortal Kombat movie that just came out in 2021. This is Xavier we have to my left.
Hello.
We got Nick.
Should have gone that way. What's up, everybody?
We have Vicky.
Hey, what's up?
We have Alex, who's not been on before. We have our editor Nick.
Hello.
All right, take it away, Xavier.
And so, all right, thanks. What a great segue. So I don't know what you guys is like. I know we're pretty young because I know a lot of people like podcast stuff or anyone that's talk about like the reviewed movie are typically older. So I don't know what you guys is like history has been on Mortal Kombat. I don't know if you guys have seen the older movies. I don't know.
I haven't seen the older movies.
I haven't seen the older, but I've played the games.
Yeah, so most of us have played the games. I don't know if you guys have played the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to when I was younger. I used to play with my brother's PS. I don't know, PS something.
PS3.
I don't know the number.
Well, do you remember what Mortal Kombat it was?
Man, there's like 20 of them. Like, don't even.
Yeah,
I started playing on Mortal Kombat 9.
Great.
I know it was an older one. It just had really bad graphics.
Oh.
That's all I can remember. I just don't. I don't know
PS2.
numbers.
I sucked at the game.
What about
You
yourself,
suck at
Nick?
all games.
I played like 8. Not 8 Mortal
games?
Kombat. I played Mortal Kombat 8.
All right, so no one
Okay.
really has like a knowledge of even the game, like history, like the stories.
No,
Not exactly, no.
Roughly.
I mean,
You've
they
got
get
like,
complex.
You've got like regular Earth and then like bad Earth and then you got like ninjas and stuff.
I already hate what you're saying. I know more about Tekken, but I know the gist of things. I know kind of like that. I've seen bits and pieces of the movies, like when they're on, and you're like, oh, yeah, nice. So, anyway, all right, so we're pretty young, so I don't know how much you guys even knew going into this. Any character names? Anyone like?
I knew them from
a
the
lot of
video games because I played Sub-Zero and I played Raiden a lot, and I played Scorpion, obviously. And the dude with the hat, with the laser, not the laser hat, Kung Lao with the freaking the saw hat or whatever.
Nice.
Pretty much every character in this movie I already knew, you know.
Well,
There are actually a lot of characters that weren't in it that surprised me.
they had to choose the most recognizable characters.
That they did not, though. I don't want to get to that, but and so Alex, you're the only one that really just says.
Yeah.
Like, and you never even played at the arcade. No, you know, Nick never was like,
I
I'm gonna kick your ass.
I just hopped in and was like, all right, guess I'm gonna watch it.
Fair enough.
Isn't there Mortal Kombat arcade monsters or something?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a bunch
There
of
is?
those. Yeah.
Not surprised.
But anyway, so there's a big split on how these people like have been viewing the movies, and I don't know how you guys have viewed it. Like, I don't know if we want to go kind of like round table and just no spoilers, but like if you just liked it or not. So I don't know if you want to start, Schneider.
Just like some.
Oh, I love the movie.
You
so
loved
I
it.
watch it. So like I watched Corridor Digital and they did a review on like the VFX.
No shout out to anyone else.
Sorry,
You can't.
That was
Shout out
that
to
was
Corridor Digital.
that was the
He
main,
loves
that
Corridor
was the
Digital.
main thing that like I wanted to see out of the movie
Okay.
was the
someone else's opinion.
was the CGI.
Oh, okay.
I loved it. It was awesome. Just watching like the actual. It was really the main thing that like stood out was the blood. That was the main thing that I actually saw when I watched it, and I was like,
Well, I don't want to get
You
too deep
love
into it, but
blood.
we'll get to that. We'll get to stuff
Okay,
like that.
go.
But you
Schneider
loved
loves
it.
blood.
It wasn't
loved it.
okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'll watch it again if I can, but I don't know. I enjoyed it. I haven't like watched any of the trailers or had no idea what it was gonna be about. I
don't
wasn't
watch any trailers
disappointed.
either.
I watch all the trailers all the time. You can ask him, but I had no idea what I was walking into. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I didn't know because it's an action movie. I was like, there's not gonna be a plot. There's no storyline. It's just gonna be
There's
them
always
like
a
fighting.
plot.
yeah.
It was actually a pretty good plot. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I actually like the story. I honestly did not watch any of the trailers or anything like that before going into it, but the story was good. I thought I had a pretty good background, and it sets it up for a next movie. I guess we'll talk about that later, but it didn't like just kind of waste all of its potential in the first movie. And the action scenes were actually really cool. I liked all the action scenes and the fighting. That was freaking awesome. But,
Okay, and for Nick,
Well, I went in. I didn't have very much expectations for the movie at all, because it's Mortal Kombat, you know, and being a Mortal Kombat movie, it's supposed to have like good action and good CGI and be very gory, and I think it delivered on all that. Very
so you
well.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, so I liked the movie. The story wasn't the best, but that's not what I came to watch the movie for. I came because of the characters, the fighting, and the blood, obviously, like Nick was talking about.
so all right, so that actually kind of surprised me because I mean all of you guys enjoyed it. I thought it was very entertaining. but I could shit on this movie for the next hour, and so
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what I'm gonna do because
We could shit on the story like the whole podcast.
well, because if you guys are gonna talk about how great it is, we're gonna talk about the parts that you enjoyed. I feel like I gotta play devil's advocate, I guess, for this part, and just talk just shit on the movie, or be like, hey, but what about
That's fair.
this, right?
Go for it. Yeah.
Because all right, so I guess I'm
So
gonna
what
be
did
that
you not
person.
like about
I mean,
the movie?
I
Go
agree
ahead,
with
yeah.
Xavier because
Go off.
I do agree that some of the parts were kind of like
They're-
really
I wanna hear what you
cheesy.
think.
It was entertaining, and I don't know if you saw Godzilla versus King Kong.
No.
Okay, well, because I know the majority of us have. I don't know if you did. But
So
I
we
went to this
haven't.
movie expecting that. Not expecting like a story. I was expecting like fighting, and so it was entertaining for what it was. It was very entertaining.
Yeah.
And I do recommend seeing it, but there was many parts I was just thrown out of the movie.
Yeah.
And so I guess we can like start kind of getting into that if you want to.
Sure, go right ahead. Let's talk about it.
I don't know. You said you. All right,
Go
It's
right
going
ahead.
with 1700s.
What do you
It's-
not like
well,
about the movie?
Well, no, I figured we start, thoroughly, like I talked about before. We'll just kind of go
Well-
through the movie. We'll go through like the beginning, so it starts in the 1700s.
Okay, I
And,
did
like,
like that
Japan.
part. I gotta say,
I love that part.
I did like the background part of it, where it was Hanzo, who's the Scorpion, was just kind of
Not
chilling.
yet.
If we're trying
Spoilers.
To, no, if
No,
we're
I
trying to
thought
shit on
he
the
always.
movie,
I thought he
Spoilers.
was. No,
let's
no,
not
no.
talk about the beginning.
I thought he was like
At the
throughout
end, he claims that he's now Scorpion.
I just thought
Spoilers.
he. Okay, my bad, but I thought he was Scorpion throughout like the entire
mean-
like his whole past and whatnot. Anyways, he's just chilling with his family. Just they're I don't know getting water in baskets or whatever. They're just having a good old time. He's saying how happy he is, and then Bai Han comes out. I'm not
Is that
gonna
his name?
Yeah, Baihan.
Bai Han. I'm not gonna say who he is. But
Bai-
he comes
Glad you guys
out.
pay attention.
Anyways,
That's fine.
Bai Han comes and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna kill your family, and my ninjas are gonna, help me kill your family, and yeah,
But
because
why
I
did-
want to end the. What is the clan name? It's like the Shira Long.
I couldn't remember.
He wants to end the clan that Hanzo's in, so he wanted to go and end their entire bloodline, but he didn't know that they stored Hanzo's infant daughter
Yeah.
in the like under the floor in the house. What?
They hid her. They didn't store her. Like it wasn't like that's where they
They
keep
stored
her.
her in a capsule.
Storing
Flower
her
in
for
the cabinet.
later.
Yeah.
They
Anywho,
planted her in the sand.
they go down, and then he pretty much just murks Hanzo. And he's like, yeah, your bloodline's over. I'm out. And then Raiden just kind of like pulls up out of nowhere. He's like, yo, I know exactly where this kid is underneath the floor. I know exactly
Well,
where
the
he
baby
is.
was crying.
Baby was
Yeah.
crying. So yeah.
Or was she? Okay.
Was it?
I guess I didn't realize that part, but yeah, he kind of just walks. He just kind of like comes in at the end. He's like, oh, he's dead. Walks over and grabs the kid and dips.
Well,
And
honestly,
then-
I didn't know who that was, so I thought that was the father that
Ooh.
risen up, like the guy that grabbed the baby.
It's like
Oh,
Jesus
okay.
Christ.
Yes,
I thought it was
because
like,
the
yeah,
guy
on the third day.
Okay.
lasted 300
thought-
years.
Except he rose again in like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's what I thought too, but then I was like, nah, this can't be because they look different, and I was like,
Yeah.
why would he just like be resurrected?
It also was
right
the
away.
17th centuries when like that happened in.
Yeah.
So,
Which did they have a title card saying it was 17th century?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I missed that, and so the whole movie I was fucking confused.
Yeah.
Sorry, my
It
language,
gave
but
me like Demon
I think we're
Slayer
past
vibes.
No,
the
we're
minute,
not.
right?
We're 9 minutes in. We're
yeah,
fine.
okay.
I thought the beginning was really cool.
Also, yeah, I mean, I guess to chime in on any of this, but I thought it was a cool scene. I thought it was really cool seeing Baihan, Sub-Zero. So when clearly he was using his ice that hurt him, I thought it was cool to kind of see like these people who would use their powers would actually like harm them or like cause some sort of physical pain to them. At least that's what it appeared to be, right? When he was
Yeah.
So
using
it's kind
his
of like a
ice.
little give and take.
Yeah. And obviously we kind of get to that a little later on, but like later on we see that Sub-Zero's kind of like mastered it, and he's no longer like. It's kind of cool later on. We don't really see him like have any kind of physical pain to that. But he's
Yeah.
kinda,
Well,
like,
given
mastered
it's
that.
been like 200 years since we see him later in the movie,
Yeah.
he's kind of like immortal. So
Yeah, I would imagine
to an
some degree.
extent, but yeah,
And so yeah, I thought that was a pretty good scene. I was really confused when it was doing the Japanese subtitle and it's a Chinese subtitle, and I was like,
'Cause-
why are they? And then I
Oh,
then
yeah.
I got to a certain
Cool.
point and I was
Yeah.
like, all right, oh,
Bihan was.
they're both
Yeah,
talking a different
Chinese
language, yeah.
and I want to get to
Chinese
that
versus
at the
Japanese,
end,
I guess.
but I don't know.
So
Anyway.
something cool about Scorpion. So it's Hiroyuki Sanada, the guy who
The
acts
actor?
as him.
Dude, he's a
He-
fantastic actor.
So he's in
Dang.
The Last Samurai and 47 Ronin. He does his own stunts.
Yeah.
So him like
he's also
watch.
in Westworld.
Yeah. So
Wait,
watching that
he was
scene.
in
Yeah, he was in 47.
Is that the movie with Tom Cruise, or is that The Last Samurai?
The Last Samurai is Tom Cruise.
Oh, I got that movie. I'm sorry.
But he does his own stunts. So when they're doing that, it's like one long take. It's a oneer.
That's cool.
Of them doing it. So
That's awesome.
Was he the actor that was told to slow down on his stunts by the actor who played as Bihan?
I don't remember.
There was an actor that I remember that was like too fast for the stunts, like the action scenes.
Well, because I'm pretty sure it was him. Because there's the actor Kun Lao, the person who was Kun Lao. I forgot the actor's name,
be.
but he actually trained with Jackie Chan.
Oh,
And so
cool.
he learned his own stunts from Jackie Chan, so he's doing his own stunts as well as
What's his actor's
Cole
name?
as well. I forgot the actor's name. I should have written them all down.
It's probably something y'all should have looked up before. Like,
I mean, I have
did
it on my
this.
phone, but I figured even just saying the
You wouldn't let me
characters are
see
like fine, because
The
I
what?
feel like we all can kind of understand who the characters are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so like Liu Kang or Kung
Yeah.
Lao or
I feel like we know majority.
Yeah.
But the actor
Cool
who
saw hat guy.
Yeah,
it's
fire
that's
guy.
fine.
the actor
Yeah.
who played as Cole actually trained with a real MMA fighter.
That's cool.
For his scenes.
Well, I would imagine.
And the person who he fights in that beginning scene, spoilers, the person who he fights in that beginning scene in the cage is a real MMA fighter. I don't remember his name, but he's
You know, like,
actually
the,
I wanna
the
get to
guy
that-
at the MC font.
yeah.
yeah.
Well, before we get to that, I wanted to say. So, all right. So, what was up? So
It's okay, breathe.
he goes to get water, right? And so he's like a few steps away, and then he doesn't hear his whole entire village get murdered. But as soon as he hears his wife get screams, and then he
Yeah.
like has to like run 3 miles, like
Yeah, that doesn't make any
He was
sense.
so far away for some reason all of a sudden. He was like there,
Amazing
and now he
writing.
took him forever
Well, it
to
didn't
get
even
back.
seem like he was that far
I
because
know.
like he left, the ninjas came and they started attacking as soon as he left, and then like they just finished attacking, and that whole attack scene was maybe a minute, and then they showed him at the water place. That water, the
He-
place
he
where
had
he's
to
getting
been,
water
like,
at,
5
had to be-
miles away.
Yeah, what 5 miles? He was like 50 feet away. He did not,
But
Hanzo
it
can
took
run,
him even
boy.
so long to get there.
didn't even hear his whole village getting attacked.
I know.
Well, they're ninjas. That's the whole point. You didn't hear all of them.
Right after
Well, it
they
didn't
like,
sound
they
like
showed up.
it didn't sound like they
So
they
the
made any
ninjas
noise.
not only like are silent, but when they kill you, you can't scream.
No, that's how
Yeah.
movie works.
They
No,
have that
'cause you're
effect
dead.
on
Oh,
people.
okay.
Interesting.
But I guess we can kind of move on to
mean-
the MMA.
Oh, real
I mean,
quick,
we
real
move on.
quick. When Baihan was in the house with Hanzo's wife and
Mhm.
his eldest son. When like his son like stuck his like arm up like that, like what was he trying to do? Like,
dude, I don't know.
He's telling him to
Protect.
stop.
He was
You
trying
say
to
no.
protect him.
I
His
don't
mom.
want to
Oh, I
do
thought he was
this.
gonna like fight him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
I-
trying to
I-
protect
I-
this.
I thought he was about to
Yeah.
like spew fire from his hands or something.
No,
I was
he
like,
didn't.
that's
He wasn't
cool.
like that.
No,
Not
no,
like this.
he did like a kind of
He
karate
wasn't-
chop kind
because
of thing.
He was
because
trying to do a
Baihan was like
shuriken or
because
something.
Baihan was like, oh, your father, like you take after your father or something like that. That's
Yeah.
cool. And then
Yeah, because his
proceeds to
father
murder
was a
them.
professional, like a well-known fighter.
I completely forgot as well. But so Raiden comes in. One of my favorite characters. I will say I main as him. Right.
too, yeah.
At any time I play Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I love him to death. And even the old movies. If you ever take a look ever at the old casts, right? Like I feel like I don't remember his name. But the old actor who played as him was like perfect.
Mhm.
And I saw this guy, and I was like, "Oh shit! Like here he is, lightning." And then he turns around and doesn't have like a beard.
No, which is what I always
And it-
remember Raiden.
Yeah.
Actually, no,
He
Raiden
never
doesn't
had a
have a
beard.
beard.
I thought
Raiden
he
never
had
had a
that-
beard.
I thought he had that little goatee thing right
No.
here. with, like,
No, you're
the-
thinking of somebody else.
He did not.
He has a goat. Yeah. He has
No,
a
he
goat.
doesn't. Look up a picture of Raiden. I
You guys
swear.
can continue on, but I'm gonna look
Fact
this
check.
up.
Like
Yeah,
he
but
made
how
the
about-
last 3 like Mortal Kombat games, like
I'm
9, 10, and
fact-checking.
11. He didn't have a beard.
The one thing I couldn't get past is the sorcerer, the other main villain of
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah.
couldn't get past the fact that the actor who played as him, he was in the Dark Knight, and I just couldn't get
Who did he
past that
play as
fact.
in the Dark
He
Knight?
was the Asian guy who flees to China
Oh,
in order
really?
to get away from he tries to get away from Batman, and he's just like my associates are taking care of your money as we speak. And
Yeah,
then he,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
just
that's the guy.
dips,
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
and then he gets his ass
I have
handed
no
to
idea
him.
what you guys are talking about. I need to watch that movie.
All right. Well, I remembered
What?
Raiden. All right. Raiden has white hair though. We don't see his hair at all, except
No.
for. All right. So
You
I
never
guess I
see
was a
his
little
hair. He always
wrong.
wears the hat.
But like, I don't know. I just remembered him having
Like,
a
go
beard.
up
You
again?
remembered having him having a
I
beard.
somehow remember him having like a little goatee
Yeah.
like thing
You
that
both are
comes
fucking
down with a
stupid.
rubber band like tying it off or something like that. That's
No.
just
Are
how I
you
remember.
are you
it.
thinking of the one Lego Ninja Master from Ninja?
Maybe.
Are you actually?
He might.
Are you
what you're thinking
actually?
about.
I'm gonna just put him right here.
He has like the little long like mustache that hangs down.
Yes, I know exactly. Yeah, him. I'm pretty sure
Y'all
you're.
are dumb.
I think I hate ourselves.
Yeah, maybe. That might be who I'm thinking about. Okay.
Anyway, so
Moving on.
yeah, as the movie continues to get introduced to Cole, which, you know, we all know Cole is our favorite Mortal Kombat character.
I mean Cole.
Jax.
Cole's a wuss.
I got a problem. Cole is I felt a pretty interesting character. I enjoyed him.
Yeah.
Okay, you say that. I don't know. He really hooked me in because he's an MMA fighter, and so I was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, I gotta go work out. But there's like 100 Mortal Kombat characters, and they couldn't like do one of those. They had to make a new one for us to like see.
Who was the new one?
Cole is not a character.
But Cole isn't a character.
He's always been a character.
No, he is
no.
not.
Jax.
No.
What?
Isn't he Jax?
No, Jax is the guy who gets his arms cut off.
Yeah, Jax is Jax.
Spoiler.
Jax is literally a character within this movie.
Yeah,
And then
no,
there's
it's
Cole.
And then
You're
there's
talking about the
Cole.
MC, right?
Yeah, and then there's Cole, who's the MMA fighter at the beginning.
And his special
I didn't
powers.
I didn't really like Cole either.
His
No one said that,
his
but-
special powers consist of baton.
And
No, we'll
little
get to we'll get to
Yeah,
that
we'll
too.
that later.
We'll
Because
progressive.
He got punched, and I immediately. Are you thinking of the same thing when he got punched that you thought of? What's his?
Black Panther.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
I was gonna
again.
say
We'll
that.
get to that because that's towards the end. But
Spoilers.
what is the relationship that he has with those two girls? It's not really like clarified.
That's his
They-
daughter.
That's his daughter.
Okay, they never say.
And
And then
I
later-
thought
later
he
in
was
the movie they
dating
do.
that woman.
They don't.
Yeah, because when
He's
Raiden's
my
like,
family, so it could be his little sister.
I guess.
It could be an adopted, girl.
Did she
Like,
say hi,
Okay,
Dad, or
listen,
something?
it's
It
not.
could be
It's
his
not
daughter,
his sister.
wife.
The woman that he was with, like the older woman.
Okay. Obviously.
no, I'm talking about the little girl. It could
No,
be
I
his
think
sister.
that's his daughter.
That's
Yeah.
his daughter. Yeah, they.
But
At
I'm
first I
saying,
thought that
obviously we
he
can
was dating
conclude
that
that,
older
but
woman.
they don't ever say.
Okay.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
I
They
mean,
do
just
when they're
thought
at the
Cole
frozen
was-
yogurt.
I don't think they
They
ever
don't
do.
straight up say it.
Nick,
They kind of imply
you
it.
just thought Cole was Jax. Don't trust your word.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I made that
outta here.
confusing.
They never clarify, and so I know it's presumed, right? We can all kind of like assume that, but they don't say that, and it just, I don't know.
Audience, go watch Mortal
and-
Kombat and check us.
No, don't check us. And then the
Not allowed.
the coach, I guess, the kind of referee, if you will, guy comes in.
The guy in
and-
charge.
Yeah, the small bald man.
Yeah, and he's like, "Who's this girl?" If that was his daughter, wouldn't you think that she would have been coming constantly?
Does he? He says that?
Yeah. So I don't know,
remember him
man.
saying that.
And then so would they hide the daughter right at the beginning of the movie into the little under the woods, and so I didn't see that it was in the 17th century.
Oh,
So,
you thought that was her?
So the whole time I was like, this is gonna be a really difficult movie to have fighting scenes with this like 8-year-old. But I mean, let's go for it, right? So that's what I was expecting the whole time.
Yeah.
Until at a certain point, then they showed the mark, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, did the movie forget that they said it was a female?
Well, I thought it was the little girl. I thought it was Cole because I didn't realize that it was a little girl. So I was like, damn, he's got some like
Yeah.
really good aging. Like,
Well, because they're like, we see that Sub-Zero is essentially immortal to aging, right? I mean, to mortal
Yeah.
wounds a little, but. So I thought, oh, well, maybe this girl has been the girl for the past, couple hundred years, or maybe this is Cole. So I just thought, whatever. Or like, I also figured that maybe they forgot in their own movie, like 2 minutes later, that
supposed
they
to be a
forgot
girl.
the gender. So, but yeah, so they talk about the old guy talks about how he has no offense, right? Or it was like one of the ones, right? He talks about how, he has no offense and all defense. And then we see him just pummel this guy like he has full offense and no defense.
Yeah,
like
and-
not.
Yeah.
and then like 2 seconds later, he gets flipped over, and then the dude's just like, I punched you 2 times, and now you're down.
But I enjoyed the MMA fight though, the little scene.
Yeah, that was
I
pretty
liked.
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the coach guy wasn't wrong. He didn't have any offense.
He did.
Because I mean,
we
still
we
lost.
Immediately saw him. All right.
so
Anyways, let's get into.
obviously it's like a little girl.
Let's get into like kind of the overlooking plot of the story. Like as of this point, after the whole 17th century thing happens, the Outworld people are now trying to they're trying to take over
into the Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, so they're trying the Mortal Kombat like happens like every year or something like that. I don't know. They didn't really specify on that, but
No.
it happens and if they win if the Outworld wins 10 tournaments against the Earth Realm, then they basically get to come in and invade and take over. And so far they've won 9 out of the 10, and they just need 1 more to win. But there's a prophecy that says that Hanzo is supposed to come out of the dead and do a bunch of cool stuff.
His
and,
blood is supposed to rise.
Yeah, his blood's supposed to rise and
Which,
make a
hint
new
for later.
Yeah, make a new set of champions that will actually like save the tournament, and everybody, they won't lose and the Earth won't get invaded. But the Outworld's kind of scared of that, so they're sending people down to try and kill the current contenders to just kind of like.
But why?
So there is no tournament. They just automatically win.
But if you won 9 out of 10 tournaments, so you clearly are
they're scared
winning.
because of the prophecy, though, that Hanzo is gonna come back and like.
I'm scared of a prophecy, even though you've won 9 out of 10 times.
Yes, that was the prophecy.
And the first one had no prophecy.
Yeah.
It's the last one they're worried about because it has a prophecy.
Yeah, that's why they're trying to come and kill everybody before the tournament even happens.
If they didn't do anything, they would have won.
Ooh.
If you look at the grand scheme of the movie,
that is true.
If they just sat there and waited.
So the question is, what happens if Earthrealm wins? Because that doesn't make sense. Because if Outworld wins 9 out of 10, they get Earthrealm. But
no, 10 out of 10. If they win
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
So what does Earthrealm get if they won 10 out of 10?
Get
Well,
to
they
keep
didn't. They
Or
won
don't get
1.
saved.
Well, they actually haven't even won 1 out of 10. They haven't won at all.
They haven't won
Okay,
at all.
yeah, but what happens after the next time, though?
We don't know. They don't talk about it, do they? We don't even get to see
That's
the
the
Mortal
thing.
Kombat.
Yeah, that was
No. Technically,
We never saw the Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat.
we saw assassins.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we saw.
Oh,
People
yeah,
just trying to assassinate each other.
That's technically
We never
true.
We
saw
did not.
the
Yeah,
tournament.
we never got to see the actual tournament. We did get to see some cool
We're probably gonna see
brutalities.
it
though,
next
but
movie though. So
That's what they're
Next
setting up the next
movie?
movie
Yeah.
for.
That's
That's what they're setting it up for.
Then they don't call it Mortal Kombat. Nick,
well, it has
They
all
call
the
it
Mortal Kombat characters
before
in it. They don't call it fucking Doom.
Mortal Kombat.
call it Doom.
It's like the Harry Potter series and introducing Harry Potter in the second movie.
It's like
What the
saying
fuck?
this is Harry Potter
She
12,
gets
but
it.
it's got Deadpool as the main character.
What?
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 But it's
Okay,
not, so
no,
it's not related to
anyways,
Harry Potter at all.
What she said was right. I don't know what you just said.
I know it's not supposed to be right.
I
I'm
will
sorry.
say that they did make Kano really enjoyable.
I
Kano
love-
was awesome.
But I knew
Yeah.
immediately right when he started talking, like right when he said his first word, I was like, it's Kano.
Okay, he was a spoiler of the whole movie. All I heard from him was just about the movie. I was like,
I'm
Shut up!
sorry.
I'm trying to watch it.
They showed Jax, and I was like, can I give spoilers now? Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah, I mean, we were
Spoilers
already,
already,
we've already kind of been.
So they showed Jax, and I was like, he's
And he-
gonna lose his arms.
Yeah, and he didn't have his arms, and I was like, when he was about to fight him, I was like, he's losing him.
Yeah,
I actually didn't know
Right
that.
when he
Spoiler
right when he
inside.
grabbed both of his arms, I was like, oh, he's gonna freeze him off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
That part was
sorry.
gross.
And then they.
I'm so sorry, Alex.
I am too.
and then they scratched the part where they scratched Kano's eye, and I was just like, oh, they just scratched it. That's all the extent they're gonna do to like Kano's laser eye, I guess. But then they were like, he
I
gained
I mean,
it.
that was pretty cool.
Well, alright, I mean, we're obviously talking about later on, but Kano, spoilers, when like his power, I guess, is shooting a laser out of his eye. And I liked how it wasn't a robot eye, but I figured he would have gone evil, I guess. In a later movie, kind of like
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, like his best friend was like his best friend, and then obviously they're leading up to like in the future movie him being the villain.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that's where they were gonna go, and they
Wait,
didn't,
really?
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Did you just spoil that for?
spoilers.
Whoa, you mean yeah? Because
You guys suck at this.
his friend is like
Guys, stop talking.
I
Stop
can't
talking. I don't
follow
want to
this.
hear it. I don't want to hear it. Okay.
Cut the podcast.
it's completely obvious when
Cut.
you watch it.
But yeah, so and it was weird that Cole was almost like our main character, you know? We're almost to the perspective of Cole, right? Where I was like, I kind of wish we had a movie before this to have some sort of backstory. I would love to have seen the 9 other Mortal Kombats.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
they don't. And so we're obviously thrown into the position of Cole, right? We're thrown into this. He's thrown into the Mortal Kombat world. He has no idea about any of this, right? And so neither do we. So I almost as the character as Cole. And then as soon as Kano's introduced, Kano's almost becomes the main character. And so you're kind of like, who am I rooting for? That's what I felt. I thought I loved Kano. He was
I
hilarious.
did too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kano was.
His
he kinda
quippy
just really
remarks were
funny.
so good. Like I loved his like fast little like comments that he had. It was just so funny.
His witty retorts were the best.
There were a couple. There was like one thing that kind of stood out to me when I was watching it that just kind of that bothered me. You know the
Get
scene
over here.
You know, no, I was okay. So I was kind of, I was fine with that to an extent, even though if you think about it,
No,
Hanzo's-
we'll get into that. What are you talking about?
Hanzo's from just really quick. Hanzo's from the 17th century Japan, which means that they would have never met America, like the Americans.
He was in hell, man.
He was in hell, so I guess he learned
Shadow Realm.
3 words from the English language, which just so happened to coincide with what his main lines are.
Also,
But
I
looked it
side
up on
note-
Google Translate, bro. Come on.
Yeah, he's just like, well, I'm not gonna even try.
Also, side note, why was he in hell? Like, why did he get sent
Because
there?
he died,
Yeah, because he died.
Well, yeah,
So,
but
like,
he
what
could have
did he
gone
do?
anywhere else. Why hell?
but he killed people.
Because that's Mortal Kombat.
Because
that's a sin.
I mean,
That's
yeah.
the-
I mean, maybe because he killed people. I mean, again, there's no really. And again, we'll get to more stuff where they don't really explain, but there's a lot. But so what you're talking about, Kano? There's a line that stuck out to you.
No, there's not about Kano, but you know the scene where they like go in like Raiden's little kid. They go in the temple, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just
Oh.
I don't know if you're thinking of it. The weird plastic like lightning generator that's just in
Yeah,
the center of it that
yeah.
looks like they like took it from like those like
Oh.
Like a
you know when
Star
you're-
Wars movie
you know
or
when you're like
something.
you know when you're like walking through Universal or like Disney, like the lines
Mm-hmm.
to get to the ride and they have to like decorate it with things, or like you're in the Hulk and they're like, this is
Yeah.
the nuclear generator that makes the Hulk.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they just ripped it straight out of like Universal and they threw it in the back of a truck and they're like, ooh, let's go get in Mortal Kombat. It just looks so weird.
Let's
like,
just stack some circles and add some lights to it.
well, you
and
have
there we
magic
go.
powers, Raiden. Why do you need a giant lava lamp?
Reasons.
Dude, he's so undescript. Like, I don't know. I'll get to that. But I thought you were talking about the scene where Kano's like, I've actually gone through Raiden's temple. Like, I've actually like sold, like, and moved like merch, essentially, right? Not like shirts, but like guns, through his place. But that's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's inhabited. There's people there, and he's talking about like, yeah, I've done this before. Like,
Well, no,
no.
because they were going to a different direction when the
well-
fire guy stopped him and
Well,
was
that's
like,
what
"Hey,
I'm-
you're going the wrong way."
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
Kano's like just a fucking liar.
Guy.
You talk
Maybe,
about
yeah, I guess maybe, yeah.
like why even have that line in there? It provides nothing to the movie except for like to continue the movie, but it doesn't. It's not true.
Well, they had to connect, like they had to like figure out how to get there. I mean, they could have just like, oh, there's this really cool map artifact that I found, and it shows this awesome temple we could go
Why
to.
don't you just do that?
Instead of Kano being like, yeah, so I used to run guns through Raiden's temple. That place is just run down, terrible.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. Like,
yeah,
no.
right around.
Also,
And then the next scene's like, oh, they're in the desert somewhere now.
the fact that he's using like a Garmin, like a GPS, just to get there, it's like there's no freaking way that you have that pinpointed on like your recently saves on your Garmin. Don't even bullshit me
He
like
pins
that.
it there. Raiden's temple.
I will. Speaking of when we did say the get over here thing, they did have a ton of nods to the games that I like were on my top lists.
Okay.
I know you're shaking your head, Xavier, but like they had a lot.
Are you
Do you want to
shaking your
touch upon them now, or do you want to do
we'll
it
get
later?
To the end. We'll do it later when it annoys me. But so I want to. So I mean, obviously, there's the scene with the lizard, right, which is really cool. We've seen Kano kick ass. Not really much there, I guess. But later on, so they're trying to activate their chi. What was it called again? Their power.
Their spark.
So
Sounds like-
so
yeah.
each of the Mortal Kombat, I guess, champions or fighters get like a symbol, like tattooed essentially on them, and with those symbols within, what are you being weird? Gets like a power. They get their individual
Yeah.
power depending on not just the symbol but themselves, right?
Yeah.
So they're all trying to unlock it so that way they can like have better chances within fighting, for the Mortal Kombat. For
Yeah,
Earth rounds.
I guess it's just like a gift they get. Like they each. I
yes.
mean, they each have their own gimmick,
They don't explain it. What?
Well, they're kind of just like, yeah, you need to get your spark.
Okay, so
Here, you gotta. And then they're like, how do I get in? They're like, I don't know, fight and get mad. It's like, what? You think Cole would have been mad in like a different fighting situation, like way like before this ever happened, and like that whole like his suit thing coming to him like would have happened like a long
again,
time
we'll get to the
ago.
suit thing. I want to talk about the little powers though.
That's what I'm saying,
What is
it's
the point
like-
though? Because I mean, all right, so Liu Kang has fire, right, which doesn't hurt him, and I thought Liu Kang was gonna be like, it would have made sense if Liu Kang was like, Scorpion's ancestor, right?
Yeah, that would've
He
made
has
sense.
Fire, that has fire, right? And it shows that Scorpion clearly it hurts him when he uses fire, so it makes sense that Liu Kang when he's using fire, it doesn't hurt him at all. That would make sense, right?
Yeah.
That his body evolution kind of is like evolved.
It also doesn't. Well, that also was a thing. Is like if you're gonna already say that Liu Kang is Kung Lao's cousin, which they aren't. They're not canonically.
Well, now in the movies.
Yeah.
Not in the video games. The video games are completely different.
Right.
Sub-Zero and
Scorpion are technically are brothers.
But not in this. Clearly, they speak different languages. Why?
Yeah, they're like they're whole different clans and everything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. They could have
This
split.
whole movie doesn't make sense.
Who knows?
Well, it's just their own movie. Like it doesn't. Like it's kind of like comics with MCU. Like where it's obviously not the same. It's their story, which I can get around. But it just doesn't make sense. Where it's like, what decides the power? What is the power essentially? So like Kano's, I feel like most of us who know Mortal Kombat knew it was gonna be Laser Eye, right? Which kind of sucks that it wasn't both. But if the lizard never scratched his eye and made that mark, would he have gotten a laser eye?
What if it scratches belly button?
Yeah, would he have gotten a laser
Would he
belly
got a laser
button?
He would have had a naval laser.
Or would it have just been something different? Would it depend on the situation that happened, or just like
know.
in general? Yeah, we don't know. The movie doesn't tell us, right? And then
What if it was
God, Hat Guy, what's his name again?
Kung Lao.
Yeah.
How
So
is that his magical power?
Yeah, no, it's like did he kind of
Did
just
he have
like
just a normal hat before that?
yeah, and then it just turned
He had,
sharp
like, this
or
kinda
something,
hat?
and he's like, I'm really skilled at a blade hat.
Yeah, I mean, we can see when he first introduced that he teleports, but it was 1 second, he never used it again, and then he just
Wait, he
uses,
teleported?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he teleported up.
Well, Raiden
From the
teleported, didn't he?
No.
Are you talking about like?
When he was first introduced, he teleported up from the ground.
Oh, yeah. Why
What?
wasn't that like shown more?
Well, I
That
don't
was
know.
Kung Lao.
It would have been great if he used that for not getting his soul sucked.
Well, I
Yeah, it
mean,
would have been great
that's
if he
tight.
didn't get killed.
Well, for the sake
Spoiler.
of plot, he couldn't
Well-
teleport away.
And we'll get to the killing, but so Raiden talked about that he can teleport anyone to anywhere at any time,
Right.
and didn't
OP.
do that to his champion. Also, who was getting his soul sucked? Wink. So like,
Well, no,
Well,
he
he did
was
say that he
teleporting
can't-
them, and then like he got knocked out of it or
okay,
something
but
like
can't you
that.
just go okay, boom? He's an elder god, man.
Yeah,
you
I
can't
know,
just
I
like do it again.
Yeah.
Like, is there a
He said something
cooldown?
about, like,
There's like a
gods cannot
cooldown.
interfere
Yeah,
before
he
the
said
Mortal
something like,
Kombat.
"We cannot interfere with this,"
And then
Which
like
is
nothing but
complete bullshit.
interfere.
yeah, he like just doesn't help them.
He clearly interferes by teleporting them away.
Yeah.
So just
I
keep
mean,
doing
like,
it.
yeah, at the
He's like,
end,
I'm
though.
OP
Get over
as
here,
fuck,
bro,
But
come
I'm not
on.
going to do anything because of
And
plot.
they take him to the void, right? To the white void.
Yeah.
Which, why don't they just train there? They're like, they cannot show up here.
They
This
just
is the
train in
only
heaven.
safe place.
Yeah, why didn't he
Why
do
did
that
they just
instead of
go
putting up
there?
the fucking force field of lightning?
Because he can't intervene.
So
He's a god,
stupid.
Vicky. He can only do so much.
And then obviously, so they even talk about the other elder gods aren't going to do anything. So why not just intervene anyways? So clearly he does. And then even at the end, Cole, spoilers, I guess later on. I guess I'll spoil this. Cole was like, I thought you weren't supposed to intervene. I thought you were supposed to help us. And then like Raiden's like, shut up, bitch. You know,
I
like,
intervene when I want to.
yeah, he just kind of decides. Like
I
when
am
he,
lazy.
yeah.
Why
well,
didn't you do it for Kung Lao? I was like,
But
I didn't like
shut
that
up,
guy.
bitch.
to be fair, Raiden, with even in the games or whatever, he's always been a dick and vague about what he can and cannot do. Like, in everything. Like, he's always like, maybe. And you're like, dude, I'm gonna die if you don't do this. And he's like, well, we'll
I'm
see.
the
He's
immortal
like-
like you and understand.
He's like Yoda. It's just like, why did you stop being fucking vague for 3 seconds and just tell me what's happening? He's just like,
Well, maybe if
just-
you read your Jedi
I'll let you figure it
Bible.
out and get your hand cut
And he
off.
can teleport anyone anywhere, and then waited for his champions to arrive at his temple, and then proceeded to go, you can leave, Cole. Like, no, this guy's got to fight for you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It also doesn't make sense because, like, with that said, he can teleport anybody anywhere. Why doesn't, like, when the sorcerer walks in, he's like, I've come, Raiden, and then just like, gets out of there.
Why didn't he bring Nicole's family? Clearly in a safe spot instead of the middle of the woods in their cabin.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Also,
Maybe there's like rules to his powers. Like
There's not.
there's
I cannot teleport other gods or something.
was he pulling up a sheet and he's just like,
Let's see. What can I do?
I
and
need
not
to
do?
see what I'm able to do with
According
these
to
lightning
the
powers.
rules.
I can teleport people wherever I want. Can't teleport other god. Can't save Kung Lao when other god is sucking his dick. Okay.
What is this, fucking Disney?
If
Like,
your soul's
stop
being
giving me.
sucked, you can't get sucked.
So can we bring
Only
up
one god can suck dick.
speaking of at the cabin? Can we bring up that scene where
Yeah, I mean,
Cole gets his
He
powers?
gets his Black
so
Panther suit.
so okay, so Cole gets his powers,
Nice.
and he gets his powers where he's basically just chainmail from like torso to neck or whatever you want to call it.
Black
And then he
Panther
gets
suit.
he gets punched, and then it like has the red over him, which is
I thought it was gonna be fire.
I thought it
wasn't.
Yeah, me too.
I thought it was. I thought he was
Isn't
gonna
he a
like.
descendant of?
Well,
Real quick,
Scorpion?
I'm gonna get to Motal real quick, and I just want to say before I do, in the beginning, the coach guy, right, the little guy in charge, little guy, he talks about at the beginning, Cole, you're like a punching bag. And then
Yeah.
when he got his powers, I was so pissed. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Now
Like
He's a
literally
punching bag
he's
now.
the human punching bag. That's his power.
Yeah.
And that, oh my god, that irritated me so
Mortal
much.
But
Kombat
then
12, that's gonna be
when
the
he did
character's
get
name.
punched, it looked like he had energy, like the energy from the punch, like stayed in him.
It's
then
literally
it helped
just
him.
Black Panther.
But then,
Like solar panels.
but then when he like actually was like getting punched and he didn't use it, it just went away, and then he didn't have it anymore. It just went away. The power that from getting punched.
So that scene, right? So he's getting beat by forearms.
big
Goro.
forearm.
Yeah.
Goro.
From Ben 10, forearms.
But he's getting beat up by him, and there's this scene where he like picks him up and he like starts to stretch him. I like straight up thought he was just gonna get ripped in half, and I thought it would have been so funny to end the movie there. He's like, I'm the main character, and just rip.
Gets ripped
But
in
that would
half,
have really
credits
set
roll.
the tone as well, knowing like no one is safe.
With it being a rated R movie, I was kind of nervous that he was just gonna pick up his wife and just kill her. Just
I was
rip her in
hoping.
half, because that would have been visceral. That would have been.
Dude,
That would have been great story.
that would have been funny if they like spent this whole story like
I
kind of
mean-
just revolving around Cole, and then kind of just like maybe a little bit past midway through the movie, they just kind of like rip him in half and just throw him to the side and just don't focus on him anymore.
He's like, I got my
Seriously, though,
powers.
If she had
Guys,
died
I got
to
it. He's
Goro,
dead.
Wheelchair.
Like, he's gone.
I feel like there would have been more significance to like the Goro fight, you know, because
What?
there was like a little bit of there was a loss to that fight because Goro killed one of Cole's family members.
They didn't though.
They
No.
didn't.
Did it?
No,
I'm
he
saying it
didn't.
would have been better
Oh.
that way.
Ah.
Like
Oh,
from
yeah.
a storytelling perspective, I'd say.
I guess.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
can you murder a? Well, you can
Yeah.
obviously murder.
That
that.
could've
Murder
made-
anybody in a movie.
That could have made him get
Who
his
gives a
like if he murdered his like so-called daughter that we don't know if it's actually his daughter. If the forearm dude like murdered his daughter, then he could have been
What if,
like,
like-
I'm mad now. I got
No, but
my
think of this,
spark
like, what if-
powers.
What
Yeah,
if
too
Goro
late.
murdered
Yeah.
his daughter and then she goes to hell, controls hell, and then she
becomes
comes back
Scorpion.
as like female Scorpion
Oh my
or some
gosh.
shit in the next movie? Wouldn't that be cool?
That's just too deep.
yeah, it's too much.
That's too
I
much.
just I thought it was weird because he had the baton and the little
The sword
the spiky thingy, and it just looked really off to me because he just kind of spun around like this the entire time, and I couldn't focus. Every time with characters who hold it like this, it
I'm trying
looks
to remember,
super
but I feel
weird.
like I think there was a Mortal Kombat character who like basically
I
is
mean,
Cole.
probably,
There's
but
tons.
Has like those baton things he was using.
there's probably there's like hundreds of characters,
I just
but
forget what his name is.
I think ultimately they should have went like full send into this movie. So like let's say when Jack's getting his arms ripped off, right, and then like RoboCop shows up, like getting all the characters in there, Terminator.
RoboCop show.
Teenage
Yeah.
Mutant Ninja Turtles just show up.
Yeah, dude, getting all in there. I don't know. You can even say that the scene with Goro got pretty gory.
Shut up.
All right,
Shut up.
Whoa.
But anyway, no, I don't know. It again, as you guys kind of brought up earlier, is that it kind of looked like Black Panther suit, whereas like almost kinetic
It's
energy, kind of
stored
like
up energy.
Yeah.
It kind of
used
looked
it.
like Killmonger's Black
So-
Panther suit.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Aren't
aren't they the same?
They're the
His is
same, but
yellow.
one's gold.
Whatever.
It's like yellow or gold.
But yeah, is that a part of his body now, or does it just go away when he doesn't want to use it anymore?
He just has a permanent sweater now. So
Yeah.
That sucks.
That's
for
what
the
he
beach.
constantly looks like.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, they don't really clarify. They don't show him later on without it. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
If he looks like that forever, that's just
but he can put a shirt on over it.
give and take.
All right.
Yeah,
What
but
if he
then you
can't
just
put a
have a
shirt over it?
T-shirt,
Just-
and
what
then
if it, like-
the rest of your arms are just like gold, and they're like, what
if
the
like
heck
any
is
shirt
that?
he puts on over just like disintegrates? He's just always shirtless.
And I feel like in one of the end scenes, like he
You
wasn't
would really
wearing
like
anything
that
on his
one, Xavier.
hands. It like his hands was gold, and then like it just went back to normal. His hands, like when he like shook someone's hand or something.
Again, maybe he has full control.
That's
Yeah,
over
the
it.
thing.
that's
he
just
can
so
never
confusing.
shake anybody's hand ever again, or else their hand will melt
Okay.
from the kinetic energy.
Okay.
So he gets it from a stressful situation, right? And then Kano gets his power from like an egg roll. And
He
then-
got angry over
Yeah.
food.
Mhm.
Angry.
Yeah, well, because they were like beating up on him, like all of them, and you're like, who am I supposed to be rooting for? Like, it's
Yeah.
like all these characters that I'm supposed to like are like just shitting on this character that I actually enjoy, even though he is kind of a shithead. But you're
Yeah,
like,
it was being
come
kind of an
on,
asshole, but
right? Like, and
I
then
loved
so
it. love when he
immediately Sonya Blade gets her powers, which, I mean, to be fair, I was like, you know what? She is a very stronger character. Like, she probably has
Very
already
stronger.
done research, and she kind of knows or seen the activity. So I was like, you know what? I can kind of, like, see past that. Her little, like, Captain Marvel blasts. And then who else? Then we have, I mean, we already saw Liu Kang in the hat, right? You know, like, but his power is a hat.
Kung
All right,
Lao.
That's Kung Lao.
Kung Lao, where?
Sorry.
Spinning
So-
hat.
I
So
thought
we
Liu Kang
see-
was weird.
We see some of these are actual powers, and, you know, some control a hat, and then Jax has a power.
Metal arm.
So what is with that? Like, so he's trying to pick up a rock, one that's on top of Sonya Blade, who, when he picks it up, is in a fetal position, not
Yeah,
even
she's
covered
like,
by the rock.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
then,
would have
but
felt
like,
like she would have been crushed, like
no,
flat.
dead.
flat.
Yeah.
I thought she would have been dead.
And then his power is that he got bigger metal arms. So if he never lost his arms, would he have gotten metal arms, or would something else have happened? I
His
feel
arms would have just melted off. And
Yeah.
gotten metal arms.
Like, and then I feel like of all the powers, he kind of got the shaft, because like he didn't really get a power. He just got better arms. Which, I mean, to be fair, I mean, maybe he couldn't have stopped later on the hammer, but maybe he could have just been like super strong. But even, I don't know, that just
His
feels.
arms. I think his arms are nothing to scoff at. I mean, they crushed that one guy's skull.
I
Like, it was a
understand that, but
grapefruit.
it just feels
Like those could be built though, you know.
Yeah.
It's like it's not like
that's
a
what I
magical
don't like
power.
about these powers in the first place, though, because like in
no
all the
one-
other Mortal Kombat games, you know, all these people who had like these special abilities, it's almost like they like invented their abilities on their own. Like Kano had like that robotic eye.
They're
So,
trying
like-
to find out what their quarter
or-
circle forward is. That's what they're trying to do.
Well,
From the game.
pretty much, yeah. But you know, Jax,
I got
he had like
Thank
his
you.
he had his robotic arms like built in like a lab like by like the U.S. government or something because he's like army
Cyborg.
guy.
Yeah.
He became a cyborg. But no, he just like magically gets these robotic arms built onto him by like the fucking magic
Monks.
power gods.
By the magic tattoo.
Yeah.
So if I want to really quick, should I touch up on the versus the 1995 version?
I think we should talk
What?
about like
The 1995 Mortal Kombat version?
I thought you said you
Of
didn't
the
watch
movie?
it.
I've never
I've
watched
watched
that
part
movie.
of it. I've watched some of it.
That's what I
So
asked.
like because like the thing that stood out the most, like if you take like some of the picture of like the CGI like from that versus this, like it's a massive
Oh,
improvement.
For sure.
Oh,
But there's
because-
also only 6 locations in both movies.
Right, but if you take like the picture, there's a picture that I'm thinking of that I'm gonna put right here, just in post, and it really shows what
Well,
Mortal Kombat 1995 is. But
Well, can you explain to us at least who can't see it?
what is this picture?
Yeah,
It's
whoa,
a-
that's an interesting picture right there, Nick.
Wow!
it's
as a baby?
it's one of the characters like
Edit that
it's like one of the characters transforming into like a weird monster, but his like eyes turn into his ears, and like it's really weird morphing.
Okay.
Like it's weird.
It's like an
Whoa,
animorph.
I see it now, Nick. I really do
But the
see
thing
it
is,
now.
the thing is that the back then, like in 1995, so it's only like what, like a 25-year difference. They had less than half the budget for this movie, and
Well,
this
yeah,
one,
there was
right? You need more money to
What
to
was
make
the
stuff
budget
like
for
this.
movie? Do you know?
It was.
I mean, you could even make the claim that like Spy Kids was like a shitty like animation.
So it's-
stuff,
it's-
right compared to now.
Well, it's
I love
it was
Spy Kids.
55.
I love
Classic
Spy
Loki.
Kids.
It was $55 million for budget,
Oof.
and it was $50 million for box office. Meanwhile, in 1995, they got 122 million in box office and 20 million for budget. So,
That's pretty good.
granted, this is over the course of like a couple years for the 1995 version, and this has only had what, like
Like a week.
4 weeks.
I don't even think it's been 4 weeks, has it? It's been a week. and a half.
Two
Launch.
weeks. But so Mortal Kombat 95, directed by Paul Anderson, and then this one Simon McCoy. McCoy, the director of this one, actually made video game trailers, so he had like a lot of experience with that, which was really cool.
Oh wow.
And something really cool about this movie is with most of them, they make the whole movie and then they make the score. The score was made before. The song,
That's not good,
I
is
have
it?
it. No, Benjamin Wallfish. He did the I don't know him, but he did it before this movie. I guess anticipating, and he was just like 2001, and he's like, oh, can't wait for another one to come out. I'm gonna make it now.
All right, I'm kind of yawning over here. So let's get on to something more interesting.
Can we talk about Liu Kang for a sec?
Sure.
Because Liu Kang was really fucking weird in this movie.
Which one was that?
He was just very
shit.
eccentric and did all these weird motions with his arms. Like everywhere he went, like when he went to go greet Raiden, he was like, "Master, I am here to greet you and introduce our champion."
Well, that's how Liu Kang always has been.
Oh, is that the guy with the fire?
Yeah.
But he also does.
Why? What are you doing? Like, just say, "Hey, what's up, Raiden?"
I think he took
He
a
lived in a rock
In
for 20 years. Like, I think it's safe to say that he's okay.
I don't know.
He must have taken.
Would you be okay if you were in a rock for 20 years?
I would love that.
We're on a rock
Do you
for
see?
20 years.
Yeah. But no. Do you see how ripped they are? Do you see
Yeah.
that they have powers?
Well, Liu
I,
Kang.
Dude,
that,
Liu
I'm
Kang
okay with
is
them being a
unbelievably
little
ripped.
crazy.
Well,
It's like weirdly ripped.
Liu Kang isn't massive. He's like Bruce Lee.
I don't
he's like,
care.
He's
Do you
like,
see how ripped they are?
He's so like.
I'm not saying they're
He's
jacked.
so
I'm saying
skinny
they're
but
ripped.
jacked.
yeah, he does that weird like shoulder thing in the one scene, and
That
he
creeped
just,
me out.
Oh yeah.
yeah, he's just very flexible man.
Like his, what is this muscle right here? What is this muscle?
The trap.
The trap. He has huge traps.
Yeah.
It's
It's
crazy.
like mini
Very
shoulders.
interesting.
He has like 4 shoulders.
All right. Well, let's
all I
talk
wanna
about.
talk about Liu
Let me.
Kang.
Let's talk about this. Everybody
You're right, Jack.
everybody
What's
shush.
your
Nice,
power?
To make everybody shut up.
I
All
have a
right.
tiny
All right. What was your guys' favorite fatality or brutality? I want to talk about that.
Oh.
Okay. Let's see what you have to say about this.
No,
'cause-
I thought it was a stupid question. What do you? I hate them saying fatality or like what's any of it.
They
Like
didn't
I mean-
say fatality.
oh, I think honestly though, it was kind of so the flying girl, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
was like
Kung
hyped
Lao.
up. This is my beauty.
Oh, dude, that was
that
so
was
funny.
so
That was
funny.
so
and then
funny.
what, again, what's his name? The hat guy.
Kung Lao.
Sorry.
Kung
say it.
Lao.
He's like, where is she? Like I was like, what's happening? And then he's just standing there, and then like cuts her in half with his hat, and I was like,
Because that's one of
this is
Bro.
what. Well, I know.
Yeah.
I played the games, but like I know you could do that, right? You can use his hat, right? And I was like, this is what I want the rest of the movie to be. This is what I want the whole time. I need this kind of brutalness of the. I don't know. That was intense.
Bro,
I
was
like
there
that.
it was
Yeah,
so
and then
funny.
he was covered in blood.
It was so funny because the entire time when they introduced her, she's like, "This is my beautiful assassin here," and then the dude with like the iron lung
Did
is
nothing.
no the dude the dude with the iron lung is like, "Oh man, it turns me on so much when you do that screech thing." I'm like, "Why'd you have to add that part? Like what?"
Screech is a real term.
Yeah, I was like,
I think
"What?"
he was like being like sarcastic. It's
I
not
don't
sarcastic
know if he
to me.
was.
I don't
but-
know. I think Kano really
Anyways,
gets off to, like,
anyways,
bad
they
screeches.
hyped the flying assassin bird thing up so much, and then he's like, "Oh, hat guy, you won't stand a chance against my flying assassin," and then she just kind of dies and like, like,
Like he literally rides her.
I guess they were just kind of like trying to subtly hype up Kung Lao as being this super badass who can just like take on a super powerful creature like that.
and then die.
and then he dies.
And then he dies.
And then they killed him.
Like, the execution on that scene just
Dude, it was so
wasn't-
slow too. It was so slow and
Yeah.
boring. He's like sitting there like, "Oh, I'm sucking out your soul."
And
Yeah,
you can see
no one
Cole
did
in the-
anything.
And Cole in the background just standing there watching.
Meanwhile, Kung Lao's like
Everybody's
going
just
hollow.
chilling there. Everybody's like, "Oh, that's cool." Even like,
I
even
mean-
the fire guys just standing there like, "Oh, my friend." It looked like he was
Well,
running for like 5 miles
Yeah.
before
Well,
he
he
could
was
get
also
over
fighting
there.
Cabal, so
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I thought Cabal was noob for a second.
No.
Like I thought he was like a weird
well,
looking noob.
I don't know what direction they're going with, but Noob Saibot is the Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
Well, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
Like
sure?
so, and I think that's the direction that they might go because even at the end, spoilers, don't think. Then they're like, death is just another passage or like pathway or whatever, and then they disappear. And so in the games at least, or maybe even the movies, the old ones, I don't know. Sub-Zero dies, and then he returns as Noob Saibot,
So
and then like his son or whatever takes on the mantle. Of
where are you
Sub-Zero.
getting that from though?
My ass. I'm pulling it out of my ass. I have
Okay,
no
good to know.
I have no
Good to know.
source behind this.
No, but seriously, like where are you getting that from though? Because I never knew that before.
the games.
The games.
And
Yeah.
again, it could have been from the movies too, but I don't know.
Like-
I don't know if they did Noob Saibot.
I mean,
So, anyways. So was that your favorite like kind of brutality
yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Alright, what about you, Nick? What was your favorite like brutality fatality?
I don't want to say the Kung Lao and Bat Lady one because someone already said that.
I mean, we
so
You can say it again.
There's
I mean,
a
it
couple.
was- it
There's
was
a good
good
amount
scene.
of them.
I liked Jax's fatality where he fucking does this with his knuckles.
Yeah, that was
and
pretty good.
Claps the guy's head off.
Okay, but it takes place over like the pit, which is a famous place to get like, kicked off of, and no one gets kicked off of it into the pit, and you're like,
Wow.
okay.
All right. Nick?
So I liked. I'm trying to think of all of them. Oh, Scorpion's one, where he burns. That was the one scene that I wanted to see. Where he takes off his mask. That was the one scene that I wanted to see because I loved in the arcade version where he takes off his mask and his head turns into a skull and he just sets somebody on fire.
That's cool.
That was the coolest one.
I love when he puts his mask back on and then takes it off again. His
For
face
like
is
14 times.
What do you mean for 14 times?
He takes it off a lot for
He
like.
does.
He
Anyway,
takes it
Alex,
off like 2 times.
I have no preference. I mean, they kind of like. Well, I don't have a favorite one like that I like the most. There's a few that kind of like about the same level. Like, not one really stands out to me. It was kind of more of a neutral like action movie, so I don't really have much of a judgment on that.
But there was, was there a point at any of these where you went, whoa, okay, maybe too much, or like you went like, oh shit, like this is what we're getting into?
I don't kind of like what Nick said earlier with him like about a poem like apart in half. Like that was like, is he gonna do it? But it's like I don't want to see it. But that's kind of it. What about you, Vicky?
So you wanted the one brutality that just didn't happen.
Yeah, I wanted one.
You wanted the MC to die and the movie to just end.
I wanted the blood. I didn't get the blood.
All right.
You're bloodthirsty over here.
To be honest, I can't remember a single fight.
Okay.
Nice.
But
Why'd you
Just watched it a week ago.
The point of the movie.
bro, they were also irrelevant to me. I was like, cool, someone died, and then it was the next one, and I was just like, okay, cool, another person died, nice. But I'm trying to think like the different characters. I'm pretty sure the fire guy. I can't remember anyone's names.
Well, there's
There's Liu Kang.
The younger one, the
Liu
Earth.
Kang.
Liu
Okay, yeah.
Kang.
I'm pretty sure his was pretty cool. Like where it went into like the dragon and it
Yeah.
attacked. I thought that one was pretty cool.
So
Jack.
speaking. Oh, did you not say yours, Jack?
Didn't say this.
I was the same as his, where
Oh.
he saw the flying lady that got hyped up for like
no
for like
reason.
15 minutes.
So with
Yeah.
those
Freaking
scenes where they
Batman,
like kill people
RIP.
and all that blood, they actually had like oil drums, like just massive oil drums filled with gallons of blood just on standby.
Really?
Because like some
Is
of
it
the
real
blood.
Like pig blood?
No. It's whatever they use for fake blood. I don't know what they use for fake blood, but it's just a lot of that.
Ketchup.
Some
Why
of
are you
it's
saying gallons of blood?
They go to hospitals and like draw blood.
Can we
Hey!
get samples of your blood,
My
please?
blood was in that movie.
Blood bank.
you're gonna have so many.
That's my grandma on the floor.
But they had a lot of blood. A lot.
Yes.
Agreed.
Wow.
I wish
Mortal
there was, I
Kombat,
kind
a
of wish
lot
there
of
was.
blood.
I kind of wish there was more though. I was expecting a lot more, and there really wasn't.
Yeah,
Well, there's
I
a
agree.
fatality that Jax does that I really wanted to see, but like is from the newer games. It's where he pushes the dude's head back and his neck, and it's got the little neck stump, and he puts his cigar out in his neck stump.
Wasn't that Johnny Cage?
That's from a game, wasn't it?
No, Johnny Cage's. It's Jax who does it because I remember the cigar, but they had a lot of cool. That was the thing from the games that they took was the fatalities and there was 2 things that I wanted to see. When they introduced Liu Kang, I wanted to see him do the bicycle kick,
Yeah.
and when they introduced
He
Scorpion,
did the bicycle kick.
he did, and I wanted to see Scorpion do the get over here and burning somebody's face off. Those were the only things that I wanted to see in the movie, and then I was satisfied.
I wanted to see Kano do his little like in-air somersault where he like I can't even explain how he does it, but he just like kind of flies across the map in the games and just like spins his body around in circles and does damage.
Oh man, I'd love to see
Yeah,
a stunt
Kano,
actor.
who isn't an acrobatic character in any of the games. Yeah, I remember him when he
They could have
flies.
CGI'd it.
He doesn't. I don't think he does that. I don't remember.
He does do that.
Kano
I'm gonna
ever
look it up.
Flying
I'm gonna look it
around
up.
the map.
You're gonna look stupid.
I don't know, speaking of Kano, like fight scenes, like the first one when he was like introduced in that scene and he gets that knife in his leg, that was really funny.
No, everything about him was hilarious.
I know, but like that was like the first time like kind of introduces him being a funny character, and I was like, I'm gonna like him.
The lizard character was actually a character from Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah,
I don't
which-
remember his name, but
Me neither. And I just remember thinking like,
Well,
oh,
he
man,
died,
that's
so-
weird. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Did you-
Well,
What,
no,
what,
yeah,
what,
he's
what?
finding something. I don't know. I don't like kind of want to watch at the side, so I don't know. You guys
No,
want to
shut up, keep talking.
All right. But he's gonna like punch me in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch you when you're wrong.
Anyway, but I don't know. So we got to the part where they talk about like, all right, let's like individually, like I'll take on they're all known characters except for the guy with the hammer, and I don't know who that is, and he's a very obscure character. He is a character within the games and apparently the movies too.
It's
like the general something or whatever.
The actor who played as him was the one weird baby man from Mad Max.
Yeah,
the
I
like
heard about that. Yeah,
really big guy who's got the like dual machine gun.
It kind of also seemed like he was accepting death at many points. He was kind of like just like hit me, and you're like, wow. But what did he not do it, Nick?
No, hang on.
But
it's like 8 minutes long, so keep going.
8 minutes. Okay. But so they're all like, Jack's like, I'll take on this guy, right? And then I'll take on Cabal. I'll take on, whatever. And then they talk about like, and then Sub-Zero, we'll all take him on together. Because he can teleport them anywhere at any point at any time, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And why don't they just all like 5 or 6 on 1 each person and just go down the line instead of like doing that? I don't know. It felt ridiculous.
Like, were they in that much of a rush to like get all of them done at once and then?
Well, because they said that they won't even get to see another full moon, new moon, something like that until the next tournament. So it's in the month, right?
Yeah.
And so they definitely trained for a little bit, right? It had to have been a couple days, maybe even a couple weeks. So, but even then, I mean, they could have all still done that all within like an hour or two.
Yeah.
Right.
It could have been like in the Avengers where they had like all of them attack at once with Thanos. So they could have had that.
But we might not root for the characters though if they're like ganging up on one.
Yeah, and that
dude.
wouldn't really be that much of a story because they'd easily just.
It's like if all of us attacked you right now.
Yeah.
Oh, there it was.
Watch out, Jack.
Tune in next time for when we kick Jack's ass on air.
And so they do this, they do that. They one by one, they all choose their own kind of person, and like so all of them are kind of like in the like middle of a what?
Please hold.
Ha! He does.
He doesn't fly. He just
flies around like Sonic.
That's not a somersault though.
That was an air somersault.
That's okay.
Show the camera.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to show the camera.
I don't think are we able to, because I don't know if that's copyright.
Well, it's a video game.
It just shows like
blurry.
2 seconds.
Put it right
of
from the GoPro
Yeah.
right here.
Dude, it's so blurry.
You
Put
cannot
it from the
see that
GoPro.
at all.
Put it from the GoPro.
GoPro?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll have
like 2 seconds
this
of
one.
like.
Wait,
Rewind it.
I did rewind it.
Jesus,
Okay.
what are you?
This is so
Are you a
boring.
grandma?
I know.
Jesus.
You know what?
Alright.
The audience.
Alright,
It doesn't matter, whatever.
This is why mom doesn't fucking love you.
Anyway, yeah,
Nobody
good
loves
job.
me.
You didn't even show it, so we're waiting for
Who
nothing.
are you trying to
Alright.
convince?
All right.
Anyway, so they're doing one by one, right? And they're all kind of thrown into the middle of the battle, except for Kano, who's like thrown into the her home, and like doesn't go, "Where am I?" or anything. He just goes, "Okay, this is what I'm doing." Like already knows without knowing for some reason. And like if he could do that, why don't you just teleport them into like a volcano? Why do they have to fight
Die.
him? Yeah, why couldn't they do that? I don't know. And then even then, so Sub-Zero shows up. I don't know if anyone wants to chime in on any of that stuff.
Are you talking about the end?
So real quick, so what does she throw at his eye? Some sort of like
The fucking gnome.
the
he
gnome that he
spits
spit
on.
Oh, the gnome.
no,
yeah.
no, that's
No,
what
no,
she kills
no,
him
like,
with.
Fucks up
What?
his
Yeah, it
laser
fucks
eye.
up his eye. And so
like
when she
whiskey or
throws
some shit?
like some like
She throws like
WD-40.
isopropyl alcohol at his
yeah,
face.
and
Oh,
then
yeah.
he's like, and then it like short circuits, and you're like, what
I
is
thought it wasn't robotic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, what is?
Apparently not.
What is his power, man? Then what is? I thought it
That's
was
what
like
I'm saying.
I-
The power system in this movie is retarded.
For a second, I thought like, oh, she's gonna throw something at him, and he's gonna do it, and it's gonna light his face on fire. I thought it was
Yeah.
gonna happen, and then it didn't. It just went, psst, and he's like, ow, and you're like,
My eye.
okay.
Boo boo.
But anyway, so Sub-Zero shows up and goes, I got your family, I guess, and and Cole freaks out and charges through. Obviously has like a trap, right?
Mhm.
And then the rest of the team doesn't show up for like until the end of the movie, and you go, wait, I thought they could get teleported at any time, any place, anywhere. Why didn't they show up 2 seconds later?
And they're already done, like, fighting all their people.
They're done.
too.
What were they doing for like 20 minutes?
Or maybe that was, like,
They
simultaneously.
were waiting for the cue.
Also,
they're waiting for the
There's some
script.
coffee.
the question is, Sonya Blade is already with Cole anyway. Why didn't she just go with him?
I don't know. There's no.
Yeah,
explanation for it.
that
They
was a
just
little
kinda, like,
weird.
run-
She needed a
That
bathroom
didn't
break.
make any sense.
And then again, so the descendant of, essentially Scorpion, right? Until later, but it again is a punching bag. He has no fire powers. I mean, he's kind of like a little hot, kind of.
I guess it's Black
But
Panther
like,
suit.
there's no and it would make sense if so Hanzo would be Hanzo, right? He would kind of be like this
Where's his bow and
character who's
arrow?
like fire-ish, right? And then it would make sense that Cole would be. I thought it was gonna go direction that Cole would be Scorpion. It would make sense. I thought it'd make sense that it would go that direction,
Right.
and because it's his lineage, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That's what I
You
thought
know,
was gonna
so
happen. He was gonna like
so
take up the crown of like Scorpion or something
yeah,
like
so
that.
maybe you can kind of make some sort of connection of thinking of like, oh yeah, so like let's say if like Kanan, right?
Canon.
Canon.
Kano. Oh my God,
Kano.
Kano. If
my
like
God.
he like later on his descendants, right? Let's say 300 years later, still has like the mark and whatever. Like maybe he could like his great grandchild could like probably shoot like a laser out of his hand, right? So it's not just maybe it's both eyes, and so it's like a
He
like
evolves.
it's more like a genetic thing.
Yeah.
Where compared, it just kind of felt like
Yeah, it's
great,
like
now,
it was like, okay, so how does this compare to Scorpion at all? Like
Yeah.
his like suit, his Black Panther suit to
and he's having
Scorpion's,
dreams
like,
for no reason.
yeah. Well, I mean, he's having dreams of his great grandfather.
Oh,
I don't
it
think that
goes back
great,
that
but,
far.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But didn't Scorpion just get the fire from hell? That's how he got it. He controlled
Yeah,
the
he
fires
just-
of
Well,
hell.
it seemed like he had fire beforehand,
No, he
No.
would just fight. He was
didn't-
just a master fighter. That was
but he
his.
burned up when he died.
That's because he was going to hell. I
He
think.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why.
I think that's
I
what.
think
I
that's
think
just
that
what
was
happens
When
when
you
you
go to
to
hell,
hell
you
in
burn
the
up.
MC universe.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He
Okay,
turned into
so
ashes or
that means when
something.
I die, I'll just like catch
You're gonna
fire.
burn into a bunch of ashes.
didn't get
Spontaneous
used to it.
combustion.
Dude, that's instant cremation. You don't have to pay
I
for the
know,
funeral.
but-
Just
Yeah.
No
Damn,
one's
that's
got
So-
fucking cash money.
I mean, I think it makes sense that Cole is like that, like human punching bag, because like his grandfather, his ancestor was like a
No,
fighter
but
or
he's
something.
just like a joke.
That's Well,
if it was like the video
kind of.
games though, like Mortal Kombat 9, 10, and 11, Cole probably would have just been like Scorpion 2. With basically like the same kind of like
Probably.
gimmick as Scorpion or Hanzo,
But
with
we
like the
didn't ha-
chain knife and the fire powers.
We didn't have a Scorpion yet as far as this though, because clearly these older movies are not connected to this movie.
Yeah, they're not.
Right.
But I'm
So-
talking about like the games. If it was like the games, where the games kind of like make sense, like Scorpion's son makes sense. I'm using that term lightly, but if Scorpion's son actually did get the fire powers, and that would make a whole lot more sense. You
Yeah,
know,
and they didn't do that.
they didn't do that. No.
All right. So what are your guys' ratings? So
Alright,
I'll start.
skip with everything.
I'll start. Well, we're at an hour 3.
It's fine.
We can keep going. You always come
one
from
more
stuff.
hour.
Well, just because we're already at the end, and Scorpion does show up, and at a certain point he goes, "I'm Scorpion now." Again, I assume now in Japanese, and then he's like, "You remember this face?" Which doesn't make sense because they still can't speak the same language, so it doesn't.
He's like,
They had
that's
English
what he
lessons
meant.
in hell.
Maybe
Yeah.
Baihan
That-
can speak multiple languages.
That's what
Maybe
he was
now.
saying.
But and then so he's like, "I'm Scorpio. I'm a Scorpion now," and everyone's like, "I don't know what that is." Cool, congrats. It wasn't like there was like his like village symbol was like a scorpion. He kind of just was like, "I'm Scorpion now," and we're like, "Oh, okay."
Are there any scorpions in Japan?
I don't know. Let me look it up.
Wanna look up?
Maybe
my
that's
God.
where. Maybe that's where
Now,
he.
please wait while we look up for 5 minutes for these scorpions. in
Maybe
Japan.
that's
Stop looking.
maybe
Stop
that's
looking
where
up
he
stuff.
learned.
Yeah, stop
maybe
looking
that's
up
where he
stuff.
learned like. Those 3 words get over here is because there's some person in hell who's just like, I got you, don't worry.
I'm gonna
teach
hook
you
you up with these sick powers.
so you can kick that Frozone ass of his.
There's a ladies' bar in there.
Frozone.
Get over here.
He's like, "Don't worry. This line's gonna be cool when you get back." But all he says is like, "I controlled the fires of hell and came back," and you're like, I would have loved to have seen how or explain why.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
did he just mysteriously come back too?
Yeah.
Like it just was so strange.
Why there? Like,
Yeah, like-
and-
I don't know. Like he started to use his dagger or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, like if he maybe it's cause I think he stabbed Sub-Zero with it or something like that. Like he drew Sub-Zero's blood with the dagger, so maybe that brought him back or something like.
Well, no,
I don't know.
Because what happened was
I
that
doubt it.
he got blood on the dagger, but the
Yeah.
descended, right, and that was like the prophecy, right? It was
Yeah.
just- so essentially, if they just never picked it up and they never cut him and never tried fighting him, especially with the dagger, which was also like a garden tool for some reason.
Yeah, I was just chilling in the.
At the beginning, it like brought him back, but that also doesn't make sense because Hanzo claims that he's the one that brought himself back. So whatever.
A little weird.
I don't know. And then so they're having a cool scene, Sub-Zero and Scorpion are fighting, right? And Cole's in the background fighting ice. He's just going at it. He's just punching ice.
He's trying to save his family.
He doesn't get that. Must be
He's not
tough
getting
ice.
anywhere.
No,
He's not
he's
getting
just
anywhere.
punching the ice. Like that's it.
It's not doing anything.
Well, he has a special suit.
But it's still not doing anything.
Wasn't it supposed to give him like strength or something? Like it's like
a
he
sweater.
doesn't have anything.
He literally
doesn't
has-
have
I mean,
any
after he
strength.
got it, he was
Sweater.
putting up a
It's
fight
just-
with Goro. It was,
It's
like,
just to help him
5
like
times the
get
size.
hit or something,
He
and then he's
literally
just like kind of
has,
okay.
like a knife, a big ass knife, and he's punching it with puny little hand. Like he could have cut it or something.
Where was arms man?
Hit it with the fucking baton.
Use your fire magic.
Again, you're making the argument like, oh, but he went against Goro 5 times his size. Yes, we
Well,
all
yeah.
agree.
Once he got his powers, he got stronger. Like he even got physically stronger. He didn't just get a nice little sweater. He also got physically stronger.
So does that mean that the ice is stronger than Goro? Is what you're saying?
I guess because it came from Sub-Zero.
That makes no
Listen.
sense.
Why are we trying to make sense of the movie when like half the shit doesn't make sense?
But that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
Yes.
allowed in Mortal Kombat.
I feel like
Not
if
allowed
this
to do
movie
that.
was like somehow made into like a TV show, kind of like WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier, just so we have those like small little like storylines. No, okay, hear me out, okay? Because shut up.
I didn't say nothing.
You're shaking your head
He
at me.
did too.
okay?
I was joining him.
If we knew these small things like we're complaining about, we don't know like the backstory. Just have either like a 2-part in a movie or whatever, just so we have more to it.
I mean, it's not that hard to just, make the movie better in the first place. There's plenty of movies that do a good job of
Maybe
being
give
good.
Jax his powers.
Of
I think
doing a
there's
good
like
job.
TV show or some sort. Just a short one.
I did think it was a 2-hour movie, right? 2 hours some
Yeah,
movie,
something like that.
and I literally came out of going. It felt like an hour. Like I felt like I could have watched, like sat there longer.
Yeah.
It was a fairly for 2 hours. It felt like a short movie, and I was kind of like, you could have fit a little bit more, because a lot of it, those battle scenes were just kind of really short. Because Jax was like, I punched you once, then I pop your head like a cherry, and then it's like, oh.
he popped his cherry.
Okay.
It's hot.
Okay.
Anyway,
Alright.
so end of the film, right? So he saves his family. Cole saves his family. His family's fine. And then Scorpion takes off his mask again like 40 times. He's like, hello,
Hey, I'm
hi,
back.
right? And so I thought, so when you talked about it, one of your favorite scenes being the one you expected, I guess, or wanted from him, spewing the fire, right? It saw him turning into like a skull, like a skeleton thing, and I was like, oh, maybe this is why he has to keep on his mask forever now, right? There's no there's repercussions for him.
Yeah, no.
It would make sense, right?
No.
Well, no.
Nope.
Okay.
Not that it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying, like, nope, he doesn't, like, keep a skeleton. He
Well,
just
'cause
goes
that's what I was
back
saying,
to
like-
normal.
So with Sub-Zero, it hurt his hand, right? At least at the beginning, that it hurt himself using his power. So it makes sense, some sort of like frostbite, right?
Yeah.
Compared to like, so I figured, with Scorpion, it'd make sense. It'd make physically sense that using fire would hurt us, right? It would burn off skin, and so there'd be repercussions to using your powers. And so using that, I would figured, oh, now I have to wear the mask, right? Because now permanently, otherwise, scare like little kids, I don't know. Or like if he used like a fireball, it would like clearly like burn skin off his hand. It would make sense that there'd be repercussions to his powers, and he takes off. Yeah, like I said, no, he takes off his mask again, and it's fine. You're like, oh, well, okay. Then why does he still have black teeth if he could just like heal? So,
They don't have toothpaste in the in hell.
no toothpaste in hell. And so
They
yeah,
use that
all
charcoal
dentists go to
toothpaste.
heaven. We all know that.
Speaking of the ice and fire, I thought it looked like real ice and real fire. Like the scene where Liu Kang pulls out the fire like from his hand, that scene I was like, wow.
I would have loved that in 4D.
Are you being actually serious or are you just making fun?
I'm making fun. I like experiencing fire and you're watching a movie.
It looked cool.
No,
4D.
I'm not saying that it didn't look cool.
But like the main scene that actually like did it for me, there's two. The scene where Sub-Zero freezes the gun and the pellets from the shotgun are coming out.
That was intense.
And then the part where Cole like gets knocked around in the ring and like you can see the ice like being hit off the chain link fence.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Hang on, we're going to space real quick.
Yeah. What was that?
Train.
All right, well,
I don't know. I'll say.
you want to touch on anything else, or?
I think we kind of summed it in the movie. Oh, so at the very end. Again, I guess spoilers for any of this.
Well,
right?
I mean,
this
the
is
whole
all,
podcast
I gotta
is a
keep saying. I got a
spoiler.
reminder.
Guys, spoiler review.
But so at the very end, he's like, "I'm quitting MMA," essentially. Well, but he's not quitting fighting, whatever, right? and I'm gonna go.
He
I'm
said
gonna go.
himself.
I'm gonna go
Hollywood.
find other Mortal Kombaters, I guess, right? And they have the symbols, and it soon
Champions.
pans over to not Luke Cage.
Johnny Cage.
Johnny
Johnny
Cage,
Cage.
like little poster, which kind of sucks. They didn't really show who'd play as him. I was kind of hoping, but it just kind of felt like this whole thing was like a setup to like
The next movie.
cheap ass Avengers.
Mhm.
Like this is like just like shitty powers and like just like dun 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 like
Laser beam out of one eye. That doesn't make sense.
like half a Cyclops.
Yeah, so you couldn't even make it come out of
Nothing in this
2
movie
eyes.
makes
Like, come
sense.
on.
Yeah,
It's not satisfying.
And so it just felt like obviously it is a setup, right? Of
course it is.
for future movies, but it
Yeah.
just feels like it's shitty Avengers, like
'Cause-
or like
Yeah.
and,
The next movie is gonna be the hopefully is gonna be the Mortal Kombat, which we actually went to.
Oh my god, maybe
See
we'll
it.
finally see the
Yeah,
tournament.
maybe we'll see the cool tournament that I want to see this movie, but no.
And then there like epilogue. There's so much epilogue too, like where you have to read. And you're like, why don't you just do it? And why don't I just read this part and then I see the tournament? I don't know. And then again, a team that is actively winning decides to go. You know what? We're gonna sabotage the other team. You're like, why? They clearly like you even show up and go. This is the team. This team's ass.
We're
And
still
then-
gonna try and kill you though.
for no reason. So
Because we're scared
Well,
of prophecy.
when they said they were like killing off like all the people, I feel like they were doing that to win all that time. Like all their other winnings, they cheated to
I
get
mean,
them.
maybe.
That's
we
what-
don't
that's
know.
what I
we just
thought.
don't know.
But again, like obviously we're getting thrown in just like coal, but it would feel more. It would make sense if we got more background. You know, if we
That's
got
what I
these
was
things,
saying
if we
with
get
a TV
no,
show.
I don't want a TV show.
Okay,
It'd be a lot. I just rather
like a
more
5
movies.
episode or 4 episode one, like a short.
Then that would be
No,
enough.
that's not worth it though.
No.
You know what?
But I don't know. Or just like previous movies, just like
Xavier's
showed like the
mean, Alex,
9
now.
what.
Fuck
What?
Xavier.
What? Just the 9 other like tournaments or whatever, just to kind of show us, like maybe because maybe
Let's have
they
9
were.
Mortal Kombat movies.
It would've been cool if they
Each
did, like, a
Mortal
cool,
Kombat
like-
movie is a Mortal Kombat tournament.
It would have
Yeah.
been cool if they made like a little
That'd be
recap
very
of the
long,
9, at
though.
least a recap of the 9 tournaments.
We've had 10 years of the MCU, but 9 movies of that is like, oh man.
Yeah, well, they actually had good storytelling in like the MCU. How are you gonna have good storytelling with 9 different Mortal Kombat movies?
You get a new
'Cause
director.
you-
It's just
yeah.
gonna.
Or like start from the beginning.
I don't know. You just do good.
Or get a new producer.
Like,
or a
I'm
new
not the
screenwriter,
director.
or-
Like it's
Or
not my
maybe
job.
just explain a little bit more, and then I
Unless it
enjoy
was just
it.
like
Well, maybe that's their plan. Maybe
fighting and
they
they don't
have
talk.
plans on explaining
The
the
movie
old
was, like,
ones or like
an hour
the
long.
previous fights. I don't know.
I mean, maybe. Obviously, we don't know the production. and
They
maybe-
ran out of ink on their inkjet, and then they're just like, ah, fuck it, we'll just end the story here. Just cut out like the cool scenes.
It felt like the
Fuck
only
it,
people
we'll
who
do it
knew what was
live.
going on was like the VFX, like directors.
I think that's where most of their money went,
Of
was
course.
just via. They're like, the last one looked like absolute shit. Let's just spend all of the money on. Well, obviously you have limitations with like CGI in the 90s, but if you when you have fatalities, you want to make them look good. You want to make the best stuff like about a fighting movie look good, and you're not really gonna care about. So maybe that's what they thought, but more people are more picky nowadays.
I'll say, as far as my last note, you brought up quickly Cabal earlier, and I felt like when I saw Cabal, I was like, this looks like a cosplayer. Like, it felt like it was like styrofoam suit, and I was like, and they even brought up like backstory
It
for
looked
him,
like he was
which
wearing,
I was like,
like,
his backstory sounds more interesting than the movie I just watched.
I know that
Wait,
was
which one was
really
Cabal again? Was that
cool.
the
like
Iron Lung
Schneider,
guy?
you saw how
Yeah.
Cabal looked. It looked like he was wearing like shit from like the military. Like he had different rigs on and like pockets. And
He looked like he walked out of Destiny, and then he
Yeah.
was like, "I'm here to show up," and they're like, "You
he looked like
He
a
did-
Destiny.
A
He
lot
didn't-
of
like,
pockets
hunter
mean military.
cosplayer.
You didn't change? Nah, just wear this." And they're like, "All right, cool. Just wear your hunter cosplay, I guess."
Like, you sure, man? We got like a professional outfit for you.
All right.
I got this, man.
All right, so let's get into our famous ratings, the MediaMix official ratings. Xavier, starting with you.
No, I'll go last.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta have those sweet. That's where all
Vicky,
my.
starting with you. What do you rate
shit.
this movie?
Honestly, I don't know. It was a good movie. I like the fighting scenes. I would just give it a solid 7.
Okay.
Out of
Alright,
what?
10
Oh,
out of
okay.
10.
7 out of 7.
All right, Alex.
I don't know. I think I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Like,
Okay.
I'd watch it again, so it wouldn't be like below 5. But
But would you watch it in the theater or just at home?
no, Like whenever
Feels
it's like
like-
on cable or whatever, I'd be like, oh, I know this
I wouldn't
video.
pay for
I'll
it.
watch
It feels like a free movie
Nah.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't know.
I'd give it an 8.
8 out of 10.
It's a very generous 8, but I'd give it an 8.
Okay.
That seems very.
No, you don't want to explain why or anything?
No,
or-
I thought as far as like
that ridiculous rating.
the visuals is what drive my. I don't care. Like the story just because at the end of the day, a movie's just supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Like if you ignore the story in total, because I didn't go there for the story, I went there for the fighting. I went there for that. That gets an 8. Story like 6. So
Well, then round it out.
7.
There you go.
Okay. I
Eight,
guess we
7,
changed his mind.
6.
All right. Other Nick?
I like the movie too, but there was a lot of bad shit in the movie as well, like the story, and some of the writing for the characters. So I guess I'll give it a 6.5.
6.5. All right. I'll go next since Xavier wants to go last over here.
Fucking.
I don't know. I like the fighting that they did have in there. I did like it, and I thought the story was okay. But obviously, as we just kind of like explained in this whole podcast we just had, that they didn't really explain a lot of stuff. You're kind of left wondering on a lot of things, and I feel like they could have done things a lot better. So for that reason, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. But I did like the fighting. I did like some of the brutalities, but that's why it's getting a 6 out of 10.
I like how at the beginning you guys were like, I love the movie, it was entertaining, and now that at the end of it, I feel like I destroyed.
Well,
some
you
of guys'
convinced
minds.
us. You convinced
Yeah.
us that the movie bad.
Well,
Yeah.
because I had to look at it from a different perspective because
Yeah,
the
exactly.
entire
Well, no,
time.
I know you loved it. We loved it.
Yeah.
Um,
At the end of the day, it's a fun.
Yeah, I'm not saying I didn't
movie.
like the movie. I still like
We
the
enjoyed
movie,
it.
but
but
like
like
it.
a 6 is like so close to just being like okay.
Well, it was an enjoyable movie.
Yeah.
That's it. It didn't like blow
yeah,
us away.
I'm not regretting that I went and saw it. I did like the movie,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. But I just thought it could have been much better.
I mean, yeah, no, I agree. I think it was very entertaining. I think people should watch it.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
I
guys
think,
should
I thought
definitely
it was,
watch it.
I watched it in IMAX. Saw it in the theater. I thought it was definitely worth it. I probably would watch it a second time. Like in theater. If it was on TV, Netflix, it was on some sort of like streaming service, I'd be like, you know what? I'll put it on before I go take a nap.
Sure.
But as far as my rating, I don't know. I'll give it like I'm gonna say 3 single laser eyes to 1 lizard heart.
Do you have a conversion chart for that?
We'll do it one day.
Make it
should
something
make a
hard so Nick
conversion
has to
chart
put
for all
something
these
hard on the
crazy
screen.
No, stop.
he has.
last time it was kind of fun. I kind of
You're gonna have to find a lizard heart.
Dented shield for
That's-
Zemos.
How much applesauce would you give this movie?
listen. I'm becoming like a Photoshop master. I want somebody to challenge me.
Next one. Next
Okay.
I'll have to
All
really
right.
think of something.
Okay.
All right,
6.9.
So it's the 3.
Okay.
3
I'll-
laser
I'll-
eyes out
I'll
of
find it.
All right.
So,
one
so
lizard heart.
we'll call that a 6.
Sure. Go
Okay.
ahead. I don't care.
No.
I give
If
my
you're not
opinion.
sure, just
Xavier has
say
his own
6.
rating. Xavier, okay, so pan it to the shot of all of us, Nick.
Pan it to the shot.
Shut
I mean,
up.
just cut it.
Cut it to the shot of all of us. Now
Where?
put the rating right here in the middle of us of what MediaMix gives it.
It's so overexposed though.
It is
Shush.
so exposed.
Okay, fine. Go to a different one.
Fine, I'll go to this one.
Why is it
Put it
going to be
over
on your
Alex's
screen?
screen.
Go to 3.
Fine. No,
for it.
I'm
Go
not
for
going
it.
to. I'm not going to.
For
Don't touch my
You've
switcher.
gone to 4 adults.
Fine, I'll give it to Jack.
Ooh.
Four.
Touching his switch.
Thank you. All right, put it right in front of Xavier's face, what it is.
Then I'll make Xavier's face enlarge.
Yeah.
Put
Like a
Xavier's
bobblehead.
face.
And then shrink. And then spin. You're
gonna have
so much.
You're gonna have fun editing.
So much work.
All right, well, everybody, thanks for tuning in and watching our craziness take place. I hope you enjoyed the podcast, and if you thought the movie was better or worse, please let us know in the comments, because we want to know what you guys
Very
think about it.
smooth.
No, let us know in
Very
the
smooth
description.
check.
And then
Very
everybody
smooth.
fight in the
Audience
comments about it.
Yes, we'll be in those comments
Just
fighting
fight
with you
about
guys.
random shit.
We're
don't
gonna
care.
start our own Mortal Kombat.
We will.
Just start a fight with someone in the comments.
Mortal
Doesn't have
Kombat
to be about
bat. But go in the comments. Let us know what you think about the movie. We'll be responding to your guys' comments. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Wait,
Like,
before
subscribe.
Before you go, what's your favorite type of frozen yogurt?
All right. Thank you everybody for watching. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.